Hello, good day to you. It's a snowy Sunday morning, January 17th, 2021. This is another film in the series of real quick inventories. So, I have here my latest batch of artwork, which I printed out. I'm going to go through it pretty fast. I think it's better on the film because that's the fastest way I could get it recorded. I don't want the credit for my work, again, being given to someone else. So, I'm filming it on my white bed. Let me give you an example of how my work has been stolen. Just one example for a lot of money. I was actually part of the White House entourage for a while. Being a courtesan or something like that, to that effect. I had to hang around. And they gave me something beautiful to do, which is what you do according to the Japanese theory of beauty. Beauty is something beautiful to do, which was artwork. And I went around the garden. See, these are not, I just did these really fast, so they're not all, I'm going to change them the right side so they're all even. I was given the task and the very pleasurable pastime of taking photographs of the many magnificent flowers they have around the White House garden, which are very lovely. And I took them and I started looking. I got images of flowers, I don't know how. I started placing them in a large bank, which I was very happy. I had a whole big workplace to work on. Suffice it to say, very quickly, I was sent into the prison system. This woman comes up to me and says, if you don't give me credit for your artwork, I'm going to have you go, I'm going to kill you. You're going to go into prison, I'm going to kill you. I'll only save your life if you give me the credit for your artwork. Jesus is a happy thing, no. I said, okay, so I did. And not only did she take the credit for the artwork, but she had it for until this very day, or give it to someone else. She was supposed to be some sort of, she had some connection to the prison. My head got smashed afterwards anyways. It didn't. Suffice it to say, I really don't want that to happen again. So, I'm filming this real quick inventory. So first of all, I have a record of some of it, which, as you can see, I didn't necessarily create this artwork. I collect a lot of images and I print them out. When I sign them, if I sign them, there's all different kinds. I leave them intact, but I put the name on them so you could quickly identify whose prints they are. That's the reason why. I thought of putting on my email site on my website, but that's not as permanent, supposedly, as my name. It's a more permanent thing I have. So I date it and I sign it for practical purposes. Now, because the other option is to leave it completely blank or have someone like take it away. Epilogue. Just to say that this particular bank of artwork became very famous in someone else's hands and fetches a huge amount of money. If I thought it was the work of Georgia O'Keeffe, which was mine, these are things that I would prefer to ignore or avoid if I can. Many times I've given the credit for my artwork, so-called willingly, to avoid a great beating. And this time, I didn't avoid it even. I find my artwork all over. If something looks interesting, I'll take a picture of it and see how it prints. I never ever claimed to have created this. I, however, signed it because I printed it out on my trusty printing machine. Whatever turns me on, I'll print. I prefer my objects is beautiful, not disturbing, and that's what I do. I think there was talk to comfort me. I don't even know why. I asked for the woman. The woman turned out to be some sort of judge. And the idea was that if she took, we discussed that if she would take the artwork into her circles, it would be taken seriously. While in my circle, it would not be taken seriously because she was a much more important person. And so I came up with a theory that the final ingredient of any artist's artwork to be taken seriously is money. And that's what you have to have. Sooner or later, you have to have money. And otherwise, your art will not be taken seriously. And will not get enough money for you to get by. She was supposed to, after done, I wished she would give it back the credit for it. She certainly got the money and she didn't do it. It's not happy to say that I returned back to my house when eventually being called a bum and incapable of never doing anything work in my life. So it never stopped. It seems like it starts a vicious circle of events. If you're an artist, I'd really like to know if you had any kind of problem like that, where someone took your work. You don't have to be an artist. If you have an estate or collection of something that you prefer, that you want to keep intact for some reason, either monetary reasons like to sell them, or even for an inheritance, or to even know that to have it given to somewhere, like even kept intact so people know that you worked on it. Let me know. Write me a note. Tell me what happened at my website at www.facebook.com/The Art Fabian Company. That's www.facebook.com/The Art Fabian Company, or on Instagram at KV Fabian. These as you can see, this particular batch has not been signed yet, but I'm doing my real quick inventory, so at least you can know, someone somewhere, that I have done this to this extent. Next step right now, what I'm doing is I'm talking on the video, is I'm classifying it according to direction, and making the right direction. First of all, if it's horizontal and vertical, and second of all, making sure that it's all the same, pointing up, or pointing towards, where am I? For the south. Sometimes I get things right away. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 tries for me to do. I have some of the work like this one that I did myself with the help of some apps, the many apps that you get on computer and the cell phones. My favorite form of expression at this time is the poster. I prefer, again, the reason here, now here's a couple of things that are original works by mine. I prefer the poster because of the many beautiful fonts, styles of writing they have on the, you get on the cell phone and the internet in those posters. Basically, technically, what is said is important at a certain point, because I'm still poor, and I don't have that much time, being not that young. And I think the expression that everything has a purpose, everything has a multitude of purposes. If the art could be beautiful and send a message and sell itself, promote itself at this time, why not? When I get more affluent or in a different situation, maybe it'll stay, maybe the text will change into poetry. But right now, being pressed for time and resources, I think it's a good idea to just have it, to have people directed. Like, for example, I have one work I printed out was directed to a website, The Lost Gallery, which is an Art Fabian treasure hunt. wordpress.com. So you have like the artwork in that poster form, and it also directs you, if you have a computer, to more artwork, so you can kind of see the progression of art that I have. These particular mandalas were originally done in pencil. And I think they translate very nicely to the computer form. There's a school of people believe that some people believe that when they were young, you know, when they have the crayoning, like coloring books, that it relaxed them very much so that in places where people are having trouble to relaxing, like psychiatric places or places that are needing to calm meditation, they have coloring books for adults or kids. And one is with mandalas. It also gives me a chance to standardize the sizes of my stuff, which is good for filing purposes. Sometimes I play around with them. I'll add one on top of another, like in here. This is the original one, and I put it on top of something else. I thought this one would look good on a different kind of paper than it was, but well. Sometimes, like, I go through a lot of magazines, and if I'm interested in or I have time that day, I'll take the magazine apart if I see a particular nice page. This one I had trouble with. The magazine was big enough, and the text, it kept on cutting off. I couldn't get it the right size, so I did it several times. Maybe too many. I'm going to maybe take one of these or two of these and cut them up even more and work with toying with it. Here, this one particular one is mine. It's an old sketch, and it's already, it's in a very fragile paper, so I decided to make a more solid copy of it. So this is Kathy Fabian speaking to you. I'm speaking to you from the Rose Studio of the Valuable Gallery, which is my living working space. This was the first. This is one of the first of a series of very quick inventories. It's January 17th, Sunday, 2021. Hope you have a good day, and I'll catch you again. Speak to you soon.